Hi, and welcome back everyone for the second edition of the Miniature Monday collaboration series.
We have a sweet video for you today. We'll be sharing our love for miniature sweets. Thank you everyone in advance for joining us today for this collaboration that features Anne at Only in My Dreams and us, Two Huge Transplanted. Okay, here's your supply list. Crayola Model Magic Clay, lightweight spackle, apple barrel paints in assorted colors, a package of assorted poly bands, a birthday candle, a toothpick, a paintbrush, a dark brown colored pencil, white and brown puffy paint, an empty pill packaging container, a silver Sharpie, and scissors. Just a side note about the Crayola Model Magic Clay. We prefer this type of air dry clay to any other clay for the simple reason that it's pliable. It's almost like a marshmallow clay, and it doesn't crack like most of your air dry clays do. So you just have to work with it a little bit to condition it when you first start with it, and then you're good to go with it. It's not one of those clays that are going to crack on you over time. And also keep in mind that the drying time for this clay before you paint your pieces is about 2 to 3 days. So make sure your pieces are completely dry and they will have hardened a little bit, and then you can paint them.
First up, our Faux birthday cake Dollhouse miniature 1/12 scale.
We will be showing you two versions of this birthday cake. The first version requires apple barrel paint in the color Pale Daffodil, fast and final lightweight spackle, that's our very favorite spackle. You're also going to need a 1-inch ball of your Model Magic clay and assorted poly bands.
Have you ever tried to buy faux sprinkles? They are crazy expensive. Well, you're going to love this alternative.
We purchase our poly bands at Walmart, and they're only $2.88, and you get 500 of them, and all you do is cut them into very tiny little pieces for your miniatures, and they look exactly like faux sprinkles. For this first birthday cake version, you're going to roll your clay into a 1-inch ball, flatten the top of the ball.
Next, apply a coating of apple barrel Pale Daffodil paint.
Using the lightweight spackle and a piping bag, add icing trim to the top and sides of the clay cake. Then, just like we were mentioning before, cut the poly bands into tiny pieces that resemble sprinkles. Now just sprinkle generously for a fun, festive look.
Here is the finished version of birthday cake number 1. You may prefer this alternate option.
This second option for the birthday cake features little rosebuds and fancy trim, and we are going to bring a video to you in the future that shows you how to make the little rosebuds that go on top of the cake, but that'll be after the collab.
Our next sweet offering for you today is our little faux Bundt cake with icing, glaze, and nuts.
For this first version of this little Bundt cake, you're going to need apple barrel paint in light mocha and antique parchment, a 1-inch ball of Model Magic clay, white puffy paint, a colored pencil in the color dark brown, a toothpick cut into tiny pieces for faux nuts.
Next, roll out a 1-inch ball of clay.
Using the flat end of the pencil, poke a hole in the center of the clay ball. It'll look like this. Then you're going to want to lean the pencil onto the side of the clay ball and press the pencil into the sides, leaning it up against the clay. This clay is very pliable and it will take the shape perfectly. You should be left with a Bundt cake shape like this. Next, give it a coating of light mocha paint, then a light dry brushing of antique parchment paint, and then using your brown pencil, rub the side of the pencil point against the clay to create a baked finish all along the sides. Next, squeeze the puffy paint onto the cake to create an icing glaze. Then sprinkle on the faux nut toothpick pieces.
Y'all, these cut up toothpicks really do resemble actual nuts.
I happen to know of 2 other actual nuts.
Oh, that's so cute.
Alright, here's the complete version 1 of the Bundt cake with icing, glaze, and nuts, alongside the alternate version, the faux chocolate peppermint brownie Bundt cake.
That looks good enough to eat.
The chocolate version of this cake, you'll need apple barrel chocolate bar paint, a red and white striped birthday candle cut into tiny pieces for faux peppermint, 1-inch ball of Model Magic clay, and a paintbrush. And here is the finished version, number 2, of the Bundt cake. Now we're moving on to the Dollhouse miniature faux angel food cake, also in 2 versions. And for these 2 versions, you'll need apple barrel paint in cameo pink, antique parchment, and light mocha, a 1-inch ball of clay, and a paintbrush. All together now, roll out a 1-inch ball of clay.
Next, flatten the top of your clay ball.
Using the handle end of the paintbrush, poke a hole in the center of the ball. Then shape the ball so that the top is more narrow than the bottom. Give the cake a coating of antique parchment paint and then dry brush the top only with the light mocha paint to create a faux baked look on the top of the faux angel food cake.
Want to make an alternate version, a strawberry angel food cake? Just use the cameo pink paint instead of the antique parchment.
Now we're on to one of our most exciting ideas. This is a oh-so-fun faux sprinkle cupcake Dollhouse miniature 1/12 scale. Wait until you see how this next miniature was made. This adorable aluminum look muffin pan is the scrap pill packaging from allergy pills. Yep, the little things you pop your allergy pills out of.
All we did was cut a small section from the packaging and then covered the whole thing with a silver Sharpie front and back.
Then we rolled out tiny balls of clay, dropped them in the muffin pan, and allowed them to dry and harden.
Using a piping bag, apply a little tiny swirl of spackle to the tops of the cupcakes.
Next, sprinkle on some of those cut-up poly bands.
How cute are these?
Pretty stinking cute if you ask us. That'll do it for this week's edition of Miniature Mondays. Join us next week to see what we're up to. While you're here, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We thank you for watching, and remember, in this world of chaos, confusion, and heartache, God is always with you. If you're going to pray, don't worry.
And if you're going to worry, don't pray.
See you next Monday.
Bye.